Hello. Hi, everybody. It's Jodi here. Oh gosh, I realized I didn't change my little label. Well, I am the founder of Connecting the Dots, better known as CTD. One of the things we do in Connecting the Dots is we have Camp Gambini and we also have Financial Freedom as two kind of groups that we pour into. So this is and it's so funny because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm doing everything on Friday. If you guys didn't, if you missed it, I actually figured out how to stream it today on my own pages. So you can go wherever you're watching this and it should be there. And it was what we called it's Fire on Fridays, not confused with Campfire Friday with Jodi, but I'm on both. One, I'm co-hosting, and my dear friend Christina Campbell was our guest, and we always just kind of leave it up to whatever they feel led to share. And she shared about her journey of losing quite a few people in a very short period of time and the process through it. And it just had such great nuggets. And then we kind of had a panel discussion as all four of us were in different places of losses that we've experienced of parents also, or well, not one, but one person was going through a recent sudden loss. So anyway, we had a really great discussion around it. So if you're joining, say hello. Oh darn, what did I do here? Okay, say hello. Campfire Friday is really our place where we kind of are coming back together in the mid after we've had a week and kind of like, if you've gone on a hike or you're camping at a campground, whether you have an RV, you have a camp, you kind of come back to your base camp, right? And sometimes you all gather around the campfire. And the whole thought is like if you were in a big campground, you would have people that were in there with their campers with all this stuff, sometimes from many different places. So that's what we're doing here. So when you join, whether you're joining now or later, make sure you say hashtag replay and let us know where you're joining from because it's just really fun. It's fun to say hello. And you know what, guys, we all need connection. We all need connection. And so this is just a little virtual way that God has had me do. I'm just going to make sure I'm showing up here and you can hear me. Let's see here. Whenever I go like that, you always see an interesting okay, I'm not going to take a bunch of squirrels today. Hold on, Jodi. Keep it together. And so this okay. Right on, right on. Okay. So who is, I see someone is on. Say hello. Let us know where you're joining from. And I'm just going to share this out a little bit. I just realized I didn't, normally I do a lot of my little things where I say, so I'm going to have to type this in really quick. Hold on, let me double check. So I normally type this in, but okay. All right, so let me just copy a couple of these. So we are on episode 110, and it is March. Oh, look at the calendar here. Goodness, it's March 22nd, so 3/22/24. Wow. Wow. You would think I would know that it was seconds since it's about 3:10 in the afternoon here, Pacific time in Stockton, California on Friday. But yeah, I didn't realize it. Oh my goodness. Give me just a second. Sometimes you push play and you're like, "Oh, I was so not ready." I feel like it's like life. Like sometimes you leap and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if I was ready for this." But you are, and it's just like if you jump into the swimming pool, if you've ever swim, you like might jump off and you're like go all the way down and you're like, whoa, like the water kind of shocks you and then you pop back up and then you remember you know how to swim. Anybody experience that? You jump on a bicycle and as you get older, it seems so much harder than it was as a kid. Does anybody else experience that? I was just hearing somebody else talk about it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one. But I don't have electric bike. It's regular. But it's like, I hop on and I start and I remember the balance. Like maybe I haven't rode a bike for a while and I still remember it. So our muscle memory, I guess they might call it, or memory, I'm sure it's tied in our brain somehow, but it just begins to kick in. Um, I was actually thinking about okay, here we go. Let me go over here and just start to share a couple things here. Welcome to Campfire Friday. Okay, I'm going to jump this on here. So this is what's going on today is so we've got this going on. So this is what really Campfire Friday is about. So as you join, make sure you say hello. Let us know where you're joining from. And we're on episode 110. Crazy, amazing. I don't even know how March has just flown by. It's like next week is the last week of March, and we have Easter, and we have Good Friday, and we have Monday, Thursday, and we got all kinds of stuff. This Sunday is Palm Sunday for any of you that ever grew up celebrating it. My church did. And so let us know where you're joining from. All right. I don't know what the heck I do sometimes on Facebook, but somehow I start to invite people. And I guess there's a limit of how much you can invite people to things, and it sometimes shuts me down. Does anybody else have that experience? So, I don't know. It may just be me. And okay, we're gonna get going here. Have some fun. Have a chit chat. Um, if you're joining, say hello. Let me know where you're joining from. And then what we always do, I love, so I am joining from Stockton, California, out in the country. And it is we have had this gorgeous sunshine. It has been amazing for quite a few days. And then yesterday, the sun was shining bright. I've been like sitting out having my lunch outside because, you just want to you want to enjoy the moment you're in for so many different reasons. So, I think it's important to enjoy the moment that you're in. And, but then it switched. It switched, guys. It totally switched. And now it's like rainy, rainy. And yeah, so it's totally, well, it's not raining yet, but it's super overcast. And it's all cloudy and it looks like it's going to rain. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So this is March. Like March is you know, totally out here in California anyway. I know in other places it still snows. But around here, it's still, we have rain. Matter of fact, everyone was out cutting down, pulling out all their weeds. We have one neighbor that they have goats. And so we lucked out. They wanted to come and get our weeds and feed them to the goats. So all like it's funny, all the neighbor Dan's had the tractors out plowing down all the weeds. Are I don't know if I posted it on here. I posted it on one of my other accounts, but my next door neighbors that they have, I call it like a little mini farm, and the boys are all out on spring break, and there they all were. He was on a tractor and they were working on stuff too. It's like we all know, okay, when the sun is shining, you better go do the things you need to do when it's shining. And the ground was still a little muddy in places, so we weren't able to do everything. But one thing, it's so funny, like certain times you just have to take advantage of what is works well. So what works well for that is the weeds come out like jiffy. The ground is still wet or really really close to wet, so they all come out. So Dan was mowing areas, all of our neighbors were mowing, weed eating, and it was like everybody's been out. And because we set the clocks ahead, I was talking to one of my neighbors and she's like, I know, I feel like we've been hibernating because, in the winter time, it's like it turns to like 5:30 when it turns dark, and then it gets colder. And so you just aren't, like on the weekends, we sometimes see each other. And then in the summertime, like we always see each other a lot because it's out late till 9 o'clock, the sun's out. And yeah, so our neighbors, everybody was kind of all out, and it's been fun. So I don't know what you guys have been doing, but it's been really fun with that. And so I total squirrel, but yes, I'm working on drinking my water again here in March. This really helps me because yesterday I did drink like 3/4 of it. That was really cool. So anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about, as we were talking around, just processing things that are unexpected. I'm actually going to do right after this. I'm calling it March Money Minute, and I'm not going to do it every day like I did February. And I honestly, there's not that many days left in March, so I'm not quite sure why God named it that today. But we are going to talk about how to prepare a little for the unexpected. I'm going to give you like the total short version. I might continue this conversation for the rest of the month. I don't know. We will see. But I'm not promising anything. I'm not feeling like I need to commit like I did to February, where I did it every single day. But right after this, we're going to run on over there. So if you guys are interested, I will probably drop it in here. Let's see. So I see a lot of people are on, but I don't see anybody saying hi. Hi, Andrea Jones. Hi, Amy Green. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So I can't even believe it. We are on 110 episodes. So that is always really fun. And episode 110. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I don't know, I may not be telling very many people I'm on because, like I told you a couple hours ago, it said that they were blocking my stuff for an hour. So I don't know what I did. Hi, Jojo. Yeah, so I'm not sure, guys. All right. Hi, Nina. I'm thinking you guys can see me. If you're joining, say hello. Oh my gosh. Hi, Paula. Such a treat. Happy anniversary to you and Jean. I think you said it's 11 years, right? Today. What an incredible accomplishment. Grace. All right, so that's the word you have. This is the question. Amy, what's going on? So good to see you. So I said, what did I say here? Give me one sentence or one word. So Miss Amy's one sentence is grace. So I'm thinking maybe you needed grace. Um, grace. I love it. I love it. Hi, Kevin. How are you? Who else do we have on here? We've got Amy. All right. So that was the question is how would you describe your word? I feel like it was a warm week. Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know what it is, but there is just something about taking, I like kind of stretching things out. I feel like my week was like, when you walk into a smorgasbord or like a buffet and there's a little bit of everything. And so I would say my word was buffet because this week had a little bit of everything in it. I even did on Monday, I kind of felt nudged. I was doing my makeup and I don't always record it. So I did some little how I match my clothing to my makeup and accessorize and all of that. And then Paula, yesterday, I did one, I just uploaded it, I think, and I had the red, white, and blue flag earrings that you made me. They're so cute. Every time I need to get some. I don't know if you're still doing them or you have them right now, but I need some business cards because every time I wear those, everybody wants to buy them. I don't have any earrings on today. Um, because yeah, it was just one of those days. But I would say my week was smorgasbord. um, yes, it's so good to see you. So I kind of wanted to pick up a little around the conversation. And I think that, one comment that my friend Christina made, and everyone was really touched with, and I know I feel the reality of that a lot is, and I say this saying along with the smorgasbord of a week, along of the buffet of the week, there's a little bit of all the good, the bad, and the like. Do you ever put something on from the buffet? It looked like it was really good, and then you taste it, and it's like, oh, this is not what I thought at all. What the heck? This is, I don't know, liver. What the heck? I thought this was cheesy mac and cheese, which who doesn't like that? Well, I'm sure there's somebody that doesn't, but I definitely do. I love, especially really good. Like when we were in Tennessee, that was our thing. We checked mac and cheese out everywhere. I'm sure it definitely added some pounds, but it was sure delicious. And I found the very best one. If you're ever in Nashville, it's called the Loveless Cafe. It's like a bunch of old country singers used to all hang out there. That, like, there's actually a little motel there, and a lot of them used to stay there. And then it's a restaurant which looks like a house actually. Anyway, we were having breakfast and they brought that for me to try fresh off the press. They didn't even have it on the menu yet, and they sent some home with me. Which again, I love the Southern hospitality. I think here in California, we're very hospitable. I thought I was very hospitable, but I just have to say, when I went to Tennessee and then we peeked down into North Carolina for a quick minute, like that was a whole new level of Southern hospitality. And so, yeah. So, but I'm just saying, like, what if you went to have mac and cheese and instead it just was not good at all? It had no flavor, or it was like a weird flavor or something like that. That is sometimes what happens in life with a buffet. So I had a little of all of that to say that, you know, I know that many times I feel like there's like three categories here to making what the comment was about saying, tell people while they're alive, give them their flowers while they're alive, appreciate them while they're alive. And so I'm going to speak to that because I think this week I actually wrote out a list of a few people I felt like I was supposed to reach out. Life had just gotten busy, and I wanted to invite them. God even told me, like, I want you to have them as guests, and I just have been busy. So I just wrote out a list of ones. There's other friends that I feel like everyone I've been talking to, it's like there's this thing that's been going on, that, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm getting totally distracted here. Paul is saying, cool. Yes, I have lots of earrings. I have to make cards. Yes, because it always happens when I'm out, Paula, somewhere, and people are like right in front of me, and then I don't have time to either. So you'll have to let me know if you want me just to give your cell phone number or an email. But I always feel bad because I could have a lot of business for you, and I don't know what to do. And then my instinct is, oh gosh, don't give out her cell phone. And then a lot of times I'm, moving backwards and forwards to different things. So you said Jean makes smoked mac and cheese. Oh my gosh, that sounds a whole new level. And yes, Southern is different. And yes, it does. It's a different time. Yes, I do. I love their drawls. I love all of that. So yes, yes, yes. So I don't know, Paula, if you've experienced that. And I think that sometimes we're just in seasons like that. And I feel like this has been a season. I'm looking at March and every person I talk to too, because sometimes I think, is this just me? Is this just me thinking this? But but I actually got a call from a friend of mine, a text, and she's like, I haven't talked to you in a while. And I'm like, I know. And then I was, after my friend Christina and I got off the live, we were chatting backstage. And I'm like, you know what? I mean, I know it sounds cornball, but I feel like I need to make, like little virtual dates with my friends and just like, okay, your date is the second Wednesday of every month. We're going to talk no matter what. I tried to do this with some of my friends, but they thought I was a little overboard because for me, it like just works. I'm a very, I don't know if anybody else is this way, but I use my calendar and I block things. So like Wednesdays, 2 o'clock, every Wednesday, every Monday, every this. And like it doesn't have to be fancy. We could even just call. We don't even have to do a Zoom. But I just feel like I need to start making plans around that. If anybody uses a tool or uses anything, I'd love to know. Because I think that our hearts are, we definitely want to appreciate people while they're here. But I think so many times I've seen this in the extreme where different people in my family, people I know, like sometimes they'll even get sick, and the family says they don't come at, while they're alive. They wanted to, they just think, but I'm trying to say this so I don't get on a soapbox because it kind of bothers me. I think because I have walked through this for a very long time and I just know how precious time is. And trust me, I know things can be busy. Matter of fact, that was part of my smorgasbord, a smorgasbord buffet. Back in the day, they used to call it a smorgasbord, kind of like hometown buffet. That would be what was called a smorgasbord. But that was part of my buffet week was I got calls, I got things, I got people, and I knew I was supposed to answer it. I knew I was supposed to talk to this person, that person. I've been waiting to hear back from them, or they called and it just happened to be the perfect timing. I had a lot of perfect timing calls. Like literally, I called somebody in a profession. She's a trust attorney and probate attorney. And talk about perfect timing. I called her on her private line, even though I was needing help for someone, and she answered my call. It turned out she was like 1 hour away for closing up shop and flying on vacation for 2 weeks. And bless her heart, she told me everything to do to help my family out, and we got everything going. And I mean, I'm telling you, had I called an hour later, it wouldn't have happened. And so sometimes we do have to just make time to do those things because it shifted everything for this family member and what they were walking through, which is a really hard thing. And I'm going to go over that more over in um, when I go live for March, March Money Minute. You said a friend of yours called and we went to lunch yesterday, first time in 2 years. Yeah, I feel like life has been really hard for a lot of people. And just there's been so much change in everything. You said you told Gene 2 weeks ago, call Earl, a friend of ours. I asked him 3 times. He got busy. He didn't. He was in a bad motorcycle wreck. He busted his knee horribly in his arm. 3 surgeries. Wow. Yeah, I think that God talks to all of us, no matter if you think he talks to you or not, but it's always in this little quiet voice that is normally sounds like yours, and it comes in and it can go out just as fast. Call this person, go there. Sometimes for me, God brings them in my dreams. That's normally a big sign. If they show up in my dream, I just call them. Like, I don't necessarily, sometimes I don't even remember the whole dream. And I don't think always it's about the whole dream. But if somebody shows up in my dream, um, I'm normally like, God, am I supposed to call this person? Sometimes it is a message. If it's somebody from the past or something like that. I was just talking to a friend of mine where she had something show up in her dream, and it was a warning, and then it literally it gave her kind of a heads up on things. So it happens different at different times, but I think being present and then also being present with people. So when you're going to see them, I find myself, it's the culture I think we're in now. Like, the instant, like, just keeping your brain going all the time. I'll be on a phone call, and if I don't watch it, I'll sometimes pick up my phone. I'll sometimes be reading something while I'm listening to them on the phone, especially if I'm not on a video chat, because they can't see me. I know that's awful, but this is the truth. So I will, you know, I I've been doing something different where I put my earbud in so that I'm on the phone with them and I'm not looking at my phone. When I'm in person, I put my phone in my purse and I turn it on silent. And trust me, I get it. People will say, "Well, I tried to reach you and you weren't around." But I feel like it's really important to be in the present. It is 100% a present to be in the present. And sometimes you don't have to go get in your car. You can literally give a call. You can email somebody. You can text them. You can do old school in mail. I have some cards sometimes sitting around, and I will literally just fill out a few. I am not the girl that is very good at all with sending birthday cards. I so appreciate all my friends that do. Every year I say I'm going to get better. So, yeah, it's definitely not great if you grab a birthday card and send it to somebody like 6 months later. But I have a bunch of those, and some of them are personalized, like "Happy birthday, Uncle." Happy 80th, Uncle. I got an 80th birthday card for my one uncle a few years ago, and I never sent it to him. I got a numbered birthday card for one of my aunts. I didn't send it to him. Um, those are always really fun. I have a Mother's Day card that it might have been for my mom, it might have been for Dan's mom. But anyway, like, those are more personalized ones, totally silly, right? Yeah, exactly. So that's one part, is just if there's a milestone event, I know that there are a bunch of people that have gone to heaven since my birthday when I turned 50, and all the things were going on. It was still 2021. But I had it. I had just gotten over, I don't want to get ding tears. So the thing that we all know. Um, and but we had it, and I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful to get to see people that I hadn't seen. We just had my great niece's wedding, and it was so nice, but I also was like, man, I need, in all fairness, there's been a whole lot going on, but so giving a jingle jangle, calling people, texting them, I'm trying to do better at it. I realized that I sometimes don't do it. And then, so my mom, I try to call her every day, especially now that my second dad, Ed, is in heaven. I try to check on her every day. And I know my sister's calling her in the morning at a specific time when she's driving. So then my day gets going and all that. Many times I call her at 9:30. She's like, or 10. And she's like, "I'm tired. Why do you always call so late?" But at least I called, right? At least I checked in. Yesterday she called me early, and because there's just priorities of things and there's timing of things. So a lot of times in the evening, Dan and I kind of have a few shows that we watch. I don't know what the heck the deal is, but every Wednesday is like all of our shows. And so then on Thursday, there's like quite a few to watch. Some are on break again. I don't know why. But anyway, side note. But so I'm trying to be present everywhere I'm at, especially because I just think that it's really important. So anyway, that is one thing that's really important. And I think so many times we say, "Oh, I'm just going to be too busy," or "I don't have the money." So there's an event. I don't know if Paula's still on, but I know Paula is a perfect example of how she has said yes to fly out to Georgia, yes to go have like a sibling reunion, all of those things. So I just think that it's important to go, um, okay, we're going to plan that. Let it, and start to work on it. Matter of fact, it just reminded me of something that I'm supposed to be finding an Airbnb for in August for my family and kind of organizing it. And yes, you're here. Yeah. Yeah. So I think like many times we will almost answer with, I'm not sure. I don't think I can go. But I would just encourage you to ask God. And a lot of times a way is made to show up to things. And I was really, the last couple of things, I'm trying to remember all of them, but I know I was having a lot of joint pain the week before my great niece's wedding. And my aunt and uncle were driving in. My cousin Melissa was flying in all the way from Florida. There's going to be people I hadn't seen. My auntie Marilyn, my godmother was going to be there. My mom was supposed to be there, but she wasn't able to make it. But anyway, there was going to be a lot of people there. And, I don't know about you, but sometimes I kind of feel like, oh gosh, I don't even have. Here's the thing. It was like, not only was I not feeling good, but then I had to grab different things to try to wear. And I didn't have some of the things that either fit me anymore or worked, hello, Perry to now menopause. And so there's just some things going on that just aren't working the same. And so I brought different things. I don't dress up like I used to. I used to dress up like every day. So I could throw something together and, add some accessories and things. I mean, and I'm sure I looked nice, but I looked okay. But I almost didn't go because I'm thinking I don't have a fancy dress to wear. And I knew some people were going to be dressing more semi-formal. And my one cousin Melissa, if you're watching, shout out Melissa. She's like, Jodi, that doesn't matter. Just, bring your black dress, bring this. I ended up bringing three. God's like, just grab three of everything. It was a good darn thing because one jacket was too tight with the one outfit I brought. My one favorite black dress that goes with everything, and it wasn't working. And honestly, there was just many times where Dan was in pain, so he wasn't going to go. There were many times where I almost just said no. Or I don't know if you're this way, but sometimes if your spouse is not going to go or they're not feeling up to it, then you say no. And so I just encourage you that just make sure and ask the Lord. And so I just knew that God was just like, you need to be there. And while I was there that night and that day, and I got to watch in person them say their vows and actually get to hug everybody and see, the first dance and all the things. There's just some things that you just can't get back. You can see the pictures, you can send a nice gift. And I'm not saying I understand that there's times, but that would be one of the things I would really encourage you with. I don't know if there's some things coming up in the summer, if there's some birthdays, some milestones, and you've already counted yourself out. Yeah, you've already counted yourself out. But Paula, go. I did go. And I feel like sometimes we miss things because we count ourselves out. I do feel like since all the shutdown happened in 2020 and all the things it it's more to go to things, and we got so used to just kind of being in our little area. So I would just say there were so many moments that I ended up saying yes to that I'm so grateful, because I had no clue that was going to be the last time I ever saw them in person. It was going to be the last time I ever talked to them. I've had that happen a lot. We just don't know. So I just say, make some extra time. God will. I was just talking to somebody this afternoon, and we were talking about all of the hard times and how they had to put a lot of things on the back burner to be there for family, to walk through their grief, to do everything. And then, but now it's like God is making up time. So make the time is what I would say. And then the other thing, and this can be really challenging, because especially if you have different personalities, if you have um, when you are still dealing with loss and stress and all the things, sometimes falling outs can happen. Sometimes falling outs can happen. And thank you. Yeah. It I just feel like that was the topic today, is we sometimes, like, I love it, Paula, like you were with Jean, you guys went on a trip, and so you were even like, hey, it's our anniversary. I think those things are important, like to block those times, and also to see, is there a way I can make that go to that. Because I'm just saying that if you've never been on the other side of I wish I did, um, at that point, you jump on the airplane, you spend the $2,000-3,000 to go stay in a just to go to a funeral. Okay, it happens all the time. We do that, and I'm just saying, and not that you don't see some people there, but I much rather have had that last moment with them. I think about the wedding I was just at, and my family that was sitting all around me, and all the different family that I just got to have some great chit chats. And even as afterwards, we were wrapping up wine glasses and water glasses and all the things to just help at the end. And we're just chatting with people and connecting. Like, I was so happy that I was there, was so happy that I got to be um, present at an event. But here's the thing, the other thing that we will sometimes let is things that might be uncomfortable. Okay. It just is going to happen. I don't care if you're going to an event where that friend that you've had a falling out, that family member that you've had disagreements with, hasn't returned your text. You guess you're not talking. You don't really know what to do because they're not responding. Now you're going to be in a place. What are you going to do? The last couple of years, I've had to swallow my pride, and God has said, go hug them. I'm thinking, I don't want to hug them. They're probably going to bite my hand off. You know what? But we need to sometimes do the extra step. If somebody's really giving you a hard boundary, I'm not saying be a bully at all, but sometimes some misunderstandings, some hard things happen, some things that maybe you need to go the extra mile and apologize for. I was just, even if you didn't mean it, even if it was misunderstood, um, you know, I've done that, and sometimes still it hasn't necessarily moved past, but then we need to do it again. Then we need to do it again sometimes. And if there's a break needed, I think what some of us do, because we don't want to get hurt, is we completely retract. And I'm just saying, what if and we'll just get heartbroken, right? Well, I'm missing the baby's first birthday. I'm missing this. I'm missing that. Maybe, I'm just saying, have a gift mailed. They're going to receive it. They're going to receive it. You don't have to say anything else. But sometimes just blocking everything makes things even harder. And sometimes I'm just going to say, you show up at a funeral, it puts it in a new perspective, and you're like, okay, we need to figure out how to make this work. We need to figure out how all of our family can be in the same room. This is ridiculous. And it's really not fun if you're part of the one that it's happening to. Like, it and so that would be my other thing, is what can you do to bridge the gap? Always consult God, but what part can you do? So that would be my last thing. Okay, I'm getting a reminder. I've got to go run over and hold on. It's the Financial Freedom Group. And I'm going to go run over there and I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be streaming it on my personal page and in Financial Freedom. So whichever one you see, go run over there and I'll be up in a second on that one, or you can watch it later. And we're going to kind of take this to the same thing. How do we prepare for unexpected things, but from a financial part? So I will be right back. This one's probably going to be only about 10 minutes. This is going to be a little bite. But I'd love to hear if, as I shared those, if any of those resonate. And sometimes we get so heartbroken that we don't keep praying and just asking God, going to our prayer closet. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, God? What does that look like now? Sometimes he says, wait, and because he knows what's going on. And then sometimes he says, I've had where he's been like, I want you to send a gift. Well, I wasn't even invited, God. Like, I was not even invited. Wouldn't that be rude? But sometimes there's things that are trying to get in the way of your entire family and bring division. And just getting that gift is a soft thing. You don't have to like force yourself. Like, of course, it would probably be rude to show up to something you're not invited to. But I'm going to tell you that even if I'm not invited, if I know where I can mail it to, I may mail something. I may send something. I may celebrate something with the person. It's different, but I just think that there's just some things that you just can't take back. And division, I'm just hearing it all over the place. So anyway, I will talk to you later. Blessings. Yes. Go have supper. Love you.